What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. Reporters are saying that a Rafael Devers trade could be on the table over the next few months, maybe even the next year, but there are so many moving parts that we gotta break it down. Trent Grisham, aka Trent Griffey Jr., was back at it again. He, out of nowhere, has become one of the best hitters in baseball. Former Yankee Gleyber Torres is rocking out with that big old beard, and he's been raking as well. Yankees fans, they've been having to admit lately that they kind of miss him. Paul Skenes and Chase Dollander were absolutely shredding, but they play for the Pirates and the Rockies, so we'll see how the rest of their games went. And also, this error from the Braves literally threw their lead away, and it would have been the final out of the game. So we'll talk about all of that and more in today's Recap, a series in which we do exactly that. We recap every game almost every single day, so grow the game of baseball with me, join the team, hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to save yourself 20 bucks off all of your tickets on SeatGeek using code Fuzzy, and if it doesn't work, just try a new email. And be sure to download Underdog Fantasy using code Fuzzy because you're going to get a bunch of free stuff, a free pick'em up to $1,000 in bonus cash credit. They have promos literally every single day, so if you want to have some fun and put your ball knowledge to the test, download Underdog, use code Fuzzy, and as always, play responsibly. We're going to start today's recap with some MVP candidates in the National League. We have Corbin Carroll, Fernando Tatis Jr., Pete Alonso, all coming up early in this recap. Justin Verlander, we know he's a former MVP. He just gave up a solo opposite field home run to a future MVP, Corbin Carroll. He's up to 12 home runs, and now he has 13. I don't know if Corbin's going to do it this year, but Corbin is going to win an MVP one day. Corbin was the entire Arizona offense all game. Literally, everyone was kept in check by JV. Merrill Kelly, he did the same thing to the Giants, but without any one guy ruining his start. Merrill went 7 insane innings versus a really good Giants squad. His day is done after striking out 8 across 7. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., look at that play out in left field to help out the reliever, Jalen Beeks, to end an 11-pitch at bat. He steals a base hit. Who knows what would have happened if he didn't make that acrobatic catch. Shelby Miller, he converts the save, so the Snakes are now 22-20. The Giants, they're still an impressive 24-18. Again, we have 2 more MVP candidates coming up. This time it's Pete Alonso, then we'll show Tatis afterwards. The Mets, they're taking on Paul Skenes and the lowly Pirates, but anytime Paul's on the bump, Pittsburgh tends to play a little bit better. I mean, look at that. IKF Isaiah Kiner-Falefa just went yard. He met Ralph Kiner's son Scott, and yes, Kiner and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa does come from the Hall of Famer Ralph Kiner. He's the second cousin of IKF, so of course he saved his first home run of the season for the day that he met a Kiner. Crazy. By the way, Ralph Kiner averaged 44 home runs from 1947 to 1953. That guy could swing it. Jeff McNeil, he tied it later in the 4th inning, and now we have to skip to the 7th. Brian Reynolds, he beat out a double play, so the run does score. Soto, he grounded out for an RBI as well, so it's back to a tie game. Pete, he got one just past Corbin Hayes. Luis Angel, he had to turn on the Jets after slowing down. He's in there for the go-ahead run. Just kidding. Joey Bart, he reset the game again with the solo. Wait, no, he didn't. Brandon Nimmo, he leaps, he robs it. Okay, now it's actually reset. Corbin Hayes, he singles. This is a crazy game, by the way. He singles in the 9th. Pete, he's now going to get a chance to walk it off. And because it's 2025, Pete Alonso, of course, he's going to end it. He has an NL best 36 RBIs. The Mets did get held in check by Skenes over 6. He struck out 6. He lowered his season ERA to 2.63. That's with him struggling a little bit. At 2.63 ERA when you're not at your best, that's insane. Who would you take over the next 5 years? Paul Skenes or Tarek Skubal? So we've seen Corbin hit 2 home runs. Pete walked it off to get the Mets to an insane 27-15 record. What about Nando and the Padres? Well, he went yard just a little bit later on. Zach Neto has 5 home runs already. He missed the first month or something like that. He already has 5 home runs, 7 stolen bases, 3 defensive run saves. That was off Michael King as well at 110 miles an hour. Manny Machado, there he is securing a 12-game hitting streak. And after Jackson cut the deficit to 1, you're about to witness one of the single worst plays I've ever seen from a pitcher. Xander tapped it back to Yusei Kikuchi, who dropped it after catching it. Then he threw it away to allow 2 to score, basically 2 errors in 1 play. He's losing now. Bogey, he wants to score on this Gavin Sheets single to left field, but the rookie Matthew Lugo, I didn't know that he had a cannon. He says no. Now, it wasn't on the fly, but he just wanted to be accurate. He gets it there on, I think, 2 bounces, something like that. Jackson, he's already got an RBI. Now he has a web gem, and after that web gem, Nando went yard, and I mean way yard. He has 10 home runs, 8 stolen bases, 5 outs above average. The Padres are feeling themselves. I mean, look, Jackson, he put the Angels to bed with another web gem. That stops the Angels' final rally. Wait, hold on. No, wait. Nando dropped a foul ball. It's 5-3, by the way. Ohapi ended up walking. Suarez loaded in for Sean Newell. He then walked Nolan to make it 5-4. Moncada's up. He also got walked. It is 5-5. The first implosion for Robert Suarez all season. Taylor Ward is up. Suarez is out. and so is this baseball. That is a go-ahead game-winning grand slam off the bat of Taylor Ward. The Halos storm back. They win it 9-5. So after seeing all of that, who do you have as the MVP frontrunner in the NL? Is it still Ohtani? Is it Freddie Freeman? Or is it one of the three guys that we just talked about? You won't believe who ruined this game for the Braves or how they lost their lead later in the ninth. But before that, Marcell Ozuna and Michael Harris, they both singled in an RBI in the third. And James Wood, how far did he go? The 415, the complete opposite way. That wasn't to left center. That was all the way to left field. James Wood now has 11 home runs. That was the only run that starting pitcher Grant Holmes gave up, and that was in large part because Michael Harris, he's out there patrolling center field. Just an absolute 10 out of 10 web gem. A catch of the year candidate, in my opinion. Harris, he's really turning it up lately with the stick, but he can do it on both sides. His defense never slumps. Marcell Ozuna attached a jetpack to this baseball. He clobbered it over 460 feet. That was 462 at almost 112 off the bat. Grant, he leaves the game, giving his pen a 2-run lead in Rizal. Despite the trouble, he got his ground ball for the third out, but Nick Allen threw the game away. Literally, he threw it away. He double clutched. He yanked it. That is the first error of the year for Nick Allen. All that really did, though, was delay what the baseball gods wanted to see happen, and they wanted to see a Braves W. Alex Verdugo, he walks it off with a base hit up the middle. The Braves, they're back to one game from being 500. They're 20-21. The Nationals, after losing 6 in a row, they dropped to 17-25. Gleyber! Okay, we're just getting straight into it in this next game, I guess. Gleyber has been everything the Tigers had hoped for, and more. Much, much more, to be honest with you. He's got 5 home runs and a 145 OPS plus. By the way, that ball went 432 feet. He smoked it. Tanner Houck, this is a bad third inning. He loaded them up, then from there said, here, have a free run. A wild pitch scores Kerry Carpenter, and you could kind of just feel that this game was going to be retribution after the Boston Red Sox beat them 2 times in a row. Riley's single got past the Gold Glover. Willier olayed it. Riley sprints around for a Little League home run. Everyone scores. Then Trey Sweeney, he had an actual home run, a 3-run home run with his sister Sydney in attendance. See, she's right there. I'm lying, by the way, made you look. They're not related at all. Gleyber, his second RBI makes it a 10 spot. Gleyber went 3 for 3. Again, he's got a 145 OPS plus this year. Justin Henry Malloy adds another one for a 9-run third inning. Willier, at least he made up for his mistake a tiny bit. He socked his 11th home run. We'll talk about Willier more in just a second. 2025 hobby. He's been showing up day in and day out. He had RBI singles in the 4th and the 6th. The Tigers finished with 14 runs on the day. The Red Sox got one more off the bat of Abraham Toro. I guess he's playing first base because Devers doesn't want to. But yeah, I guess don't beat the Tigers twice in a row because they'll do that to you. All right, time to talk about what Ken Rosenthal just said about Rafael Devers. Ken Rosenthal said the idea of a trade at some point isn't all that far-fetched, talking about a Devers trade. Even with Devers owed more than $250 million, including a portion deferred, for a hitter of his quality, the contract soon might look like a bargain, at least compared to Soto's $765 or Vladdy's $500 million. So he's saying that because Devers is so good offensively, even that $250 million owed might be a bargain. So here's how the logistics would work. A Devers trade would open up a spot for the 12th ranked prospect in baseball, Marcelo Meyer, who has 7 home runs, 35 RBIs in 34 AAA games. Or maybe it opens up a spot for, I don't know, the #1 prospect in baseball, Roman Anthony. He's hitting .325 with a near .950 OPS in 70 AAA games. The only problem is Roman Anthony plays the outfield. Jarren Duran, he is signed until 2029. Willier until 2030. Sadon, he signed for a while. He's turning into one of the better speed defense guys in baseball with a crazy high offensive ceiling. He's been getting very unlucky this year. He's hitting the ball hard. I feel like he's going to break out soon. I don't understand how Boston is going to make it all work, considering Masataka Yoshida is still owed $55 million. He's a DH. Trevor Story, he's owed $25 million a season until 2027. So right now there's no room for Mayer at shortstop or DH. And again, same thing for Roman. He won't have access to DH either, and they're not going to play him at first according to all the reports. They want him in the outfield. This reminds me a lot of what the Yankees are going through because Giancarlo Stanton, he's almost back, and the Yankees have too many outfielders because of the emergence of Trent Grisham. Do they trade the struggling Bellinger? That's kind of like the Yankees version of Trevor Story. He's owed a bunch of money this year and next. 100% Belly's going to opt in next year. Like I said, you can't bench Trent Grisham. Then there's Jason Dominguez, the Martian. You've invested a lot of time into him. So all of that to say, what should the Boston Red Sox do in their own situation where they're kind of trying to figure out what the future holds? You have $250 million left with some deferred money to Rafael Devers, who's been scorching hot lately. He is on fire. Do you give him to a Mariners and get a pitcher back? Do you give him to an NL team and get him out of the American League? What do you do with Rafael Devers? Ken Rosenthal, a respected reporter, said that a trade, it's not far-fetched. It actually makes a lot of sense. Before we ranted about Devers maybe getting traded, we showed the Tigers putting up 14. The Yankees almost put up a 14 spot. And against the Mariners of all teams, there's J-Rod. Hey, maybe the Mariners scored a bunch, and this is going to be one of those crazy games like what the Dodgers and Diamondbacks did a few days ago where they scored 25 combined runs. I mean, we had 4 homers in the first couple innings. You have J-Rod up to 7. Grisham now has 11. J-Rod got there, but it hit off his glove. Jorge Polanco, he's still raking. He's up to 11 home runs, so he ties Trent Grisham. But no. This is Trent Grisham Jr. He said, I want 12 home runs. He is eating free in New York for the rest of his life. He's having a 2022 Matt Carpenter type renaissance season. Goldie, another multi-hit game for him. That's an RBI single. Bellinger had an RBI single as well. And we're about to watch another ball fly. Austin Wells has 8 home runs. Remember, he's a catcher. That's a lot for a catcher. Or is it? Cal said, I'm going to tattoo a baseball as well, but I'm going to go further. He said, anything you can do, I can do, but better. That's 20 feet further for his 13th home run. He uses a torpedo bat, as does Anthony Volpe, and he caught another barrel. That's his 6th of the season. Volpe got on base 4 times in this single game. Judge, give him RBI number 40. His sac fly scores Oswaldo, and man, instant prayers up. All of the best wishes in the world to Oswaldo Cabrera. There was a scary situation where he had to get carted off the field. The Yankees do take it 11-5. They're now 24-17. Seattle, they slipped to a still solid 22-18 record, but they're now losers of 4 in a row. Seattle losing 4 in a row just reminded me of another team on a streak, but it's a win streak. St. Louis is trying for a whopping 9 wins in a row, and it's not going to be easy. They got to face Christopher Sanchez and the Phillies. It's 1-1 after the first 5. The other lefty, Matthew Liberatore, he went pitch for pitch with Sanchez. No more tie game. Ivan Herrera, he's back to hitting home runs. Remember, he had that 3 home run game, got hurt. He's already back to hitting baseballs really hard. Schwarber, that is 47 games in a row on base dating back to last year. He came around to score moments later as JT Realmuto retied it with an RBI fielder's choice. Whoever scores next is going to win this game. Wilson, attaboy, he saves it from getting any worse with a diving play to end the threat, and Matt Strahm knew it immediately. The instant, he's cursing away. Masyn Winn's 4th, wins it for the Cardinals as Ryan Helsley, he struck out 2, and then he made Jordan Walker run forever, but he does track it down. That is the 8th save for Helsley. The Cardinals win 9 in a row. Wait, St. Louis out of nowhere can now be tied if the Cubs cannot handle business against the Marlins. I've never really seen this before. Check this out. John Birdie, he makes a nice play in foul territory. He collided with the first base coach who was in the dugout, and then that first base coach kind of hugged him, and I don't know. Well, another play at third base, this time from Miami. Graham Pauley, that's why they call that spot the hot corner. Dansby said, okay, I'm not even going to risk it this time. I'm just going to hit it over everyone. A 2-run home run halfway up the bleachers. He's got 9 home runs, and watch your lips, a missed pitch out the hand, sails straight past Kyle Tucker's head. He locks in and he ropes an RBI triple after that. Obviously, it wasn't on purpose, but maybe that locked him in. Seiya, for the 10th time, said, see ya. He has a career 130 OPS plus. Seiya Suzuki absolutely rakes. Colin Ray, he was so close to a 7-inning shutout, but the speedster, Derek Hill, he put a pin in that. That is a 2-run laser beam. Still going to tip my cap to Colin, who has a 2.48 ERA this season. Who was going to tell me that Drew Pomeranz is now on the Cubs? I had no idea. That's his first save of the season. He's now thrown 7 2/3 shutout, only 2 base hits with 8 strikeouts. Prime Drew Pomeranz might be back. The Cubs are 24-18. They stay a game up on the Cardinals. You guys want to see a game end in like 30 seconds? Here we go. So the Gold Glover, Sal Frelick, he showed why he won one of those. That's literally the only highlight for the Brewers. Jose, he stole 2 bags. There's stolen base number 10, then 11. The Guardians then loaded them up and unloaded them thanks to Jackson Chourio. This ball has to be caught, like 1,000,000,000% has to be caught. That was a bad read, a bad route. He missed the catch entirely, even though he got there. It's a 3-run, 2-out double for Gabriel Arias. Jose, he's off again, this time in the 6th. That's his 255th career stolen base. He is now in sole possession of 3rd place all-time in Cleveland history. He walked home on the Manzo team best 23rd RBI, and staying with walking and walks, Cleveland got a 5th run on a baseloaded walk. They win at 5-0 as the bullpen shut it out after Lively only went 3 due to an injury. The Guardians are 24-17. The Brewers are 20-12. They're slipping really bad right when the Cardinals are going on a tear. Man, even when the Rockies get maybe their best start of the year, they can't get any run support. Now, to be fair, Tyler Mahle was on the bump for the Rangers, so even getting 1 must have felt like 10 runs. Rookie Chase Dolander, he's coming off maybe his first ever 0 strikeout performance in his life. He got the strikeout stuff going early. He strikes out the side in the 2nd. Some of the easiest 98, 99 you're ever going to see. He just whips it. Jake Berger, he dismantled AAA after being sent down. That ball scorched, but the 2-time Gold Glover is there to grab it. Brenton Doyle, like we talked about with Michael Harris earlier, even when the offense is slumping, that defense never slumps. The no-no is still intact, by the way. Chase Dolander is literally throwing one, no biggie. He walked some someone. There was a meeting on the mound. They reset, they regroup, and with 1 out away from 6 shutout and 6 no-hit, he left 97 down the middle. You can't do that to Wyatt Langford. He ruins everything. His 7th home run wins it. Chase did bounce back to get a 7th strikeout, but he does unfortunately get handed that 6th inning 1-hit loss. The Rockies had to face Tyler Mahle, who lowered his ERA to 1.47 across 9 starts. A double play ends it, and Jacob Webb gets his first save. The Rangers have won 3 in a row, and guys like Chase Delander, Paul Skenes, they got to get the heck away from their dumpster fire franchises. This next game might have taken 3 to 4 months off of Royals fans' life expectancies. Watch this game. Michael Massey started a 7-0 run for the Royals. Massey, that's his 2nd home run. India blooped in a 2nd run. India's hitting .290 with a .380 on base his last 17-ish games. Bobby, he might have 3 in mind. He does. He is flying. That is an RBI triple. Poor Astros rookie Ryan Gusto. The rookie got tagged for 4 runs in the 2nd after Vinny singled home Bobby, and then he allowed 3 more in the 3rd, mainly because he walked everyone, then gave up a single to Drew Waters. Taylor Scott, the reliever, came in, and he couldn't bail out Ryan Gusto. Another RBI single for India. Witt also has 2 RBIs now, a line drive sac fly, but Houston, they're threatening big time, in large part because Wait, that was a 360 no-scope. Massey spun it, he flipped, and Michael completed the double play. Here is the Houston rally, and it's not because they were really hitting baseballs hard or anything, but DeZenzo had an RBI double, Pena had a sac fly, Waters whiffed it, so 2 scored, and another scored on a Cam Smith ground out. It's 7-5 out of nowhere thanks to some awful baseball, but luckily, Lucas Erceg and Carlos Estevez, they locked it down. Estevez now has 12 saves. The Royals are 25-18. And there we have it, another recap in the books. Thank you guys so much. Like, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for supporting this series and growing the game of baseball with me. If you haven't already, leave a like and subscribe if you're brand new, and that's it. Enjoy the Web Gems. Catch you tomorrow.
This is hit into shallow left field, and Ramos is going to dive in.
Hit hard, and Beatty with a terrific diving stop gets him.
Little tapper to the right side. Altuve's going to have to barehand. How about that play by